Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 3 of Founders Series. Today, we are going to talk to Ms. Meghna Kishore. She's the founder of Greendigo. They make organic clothing for kids. Hi, everyone. We have welcome Meghna.
Thank you so much, Sahyujyah. Thank you so much for having me today. Good to connect with you and speak with you today.
Super. Meghna, we can get started with you explaining a little bit about your startup, why you started it, and where you are currently.
Okay. So, Sahyujyah, once I start talking about my startup, I never stop. So, because we are so passionate about it, Greendigo is an organic clothing brand for kids. We are the only certified D2C brand for organic clothing for babies and kids right now. We have a global organic textile standard certification, which is I would call it the platinum seal of, trust when it comes to organic clothing, organic cotton clothing. This certificate is obviously very rigorous and hard to come by, and which is, what creates the moat between us and the other brands. Uh, you know in this market. Greendigo essentially was started like most of the startups where the founders are passionate about their businesses. Greendigo also started out of a personal need. I have a daughter who was born with a very sensitive skin. At that time, I was based out of London when she was younger, and I could find organic cotton clothing really easily there. And slowly, over a period of time, I realized it was all made in India. When I did a little bit more research, I found out that we grow the largest amount of organic cotton grown in the world. It's grown in India, yet almost 90% of it gets exported. So nothing is available for domestic use. And that really got Barkha and I into this available in India. Why can't we do something about it? Why do parents have to travel abroad and buy it for their babies at obnoxious prices? And with the lockdown happening, none of us were traveling abroad that much. So, Barkha, who is also like the other co-founder, Barkha, who's also my sister, she and I used to have this conversation, and one day we decided to really jump into it and do something about it. And that's how Greendigo started.
Super. So when was it, Meghna? When did you start
So
Greendigo?
we started Greendigo almost 3 years ago. It was
Super.
just before COVID hit. Uh,
Super.
yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. How has the experience been? What kind of growth have you seen?
So the experience has been good. Honestly speaking, if the lockdown has been kind to anybody, it has been to e-commerce. Otherwise, it has been a very, very difficult journey for all of us personally and professionally. So things were not bad. The lockdown, we did keep afloat for during the lockdown. We see, Sayoji, also what happens is babies do grow out of their clothes.
Yeah,
Whether you like it or not, you have to buy new clothes for babies every 3 months, 4 months,
absolutely.
right? And parents did turn to the online brands available that time because going out shopping was out of question. So lockdown hasn't been, that bad for us. And yeah, here we are.
Super. So the thing you said about this being a repeat purchase item, right? And I think even mothers who are purchasing would like to buy a lot of clothes a lot of times, right? So how is this nature of your business helping you build your brand? How is what are the few things that you are doing towards driving this?
Okay. So yes, babies wear a lot of clothes in a day in the sense they change a lot of clothes in a day. They also outgrow their clothes really fast, and that is another reason why we wanted to get into the baby space, because babies are very large consumers of garments, and if one has to really make an impact on the environment, one has to start there. So grown-ups, while they may have like 7 or 8 t-shirts in their wardrobe and feel happy about it changing every day, a child can change up to 5 times a day, like change their clothes up to 5 times a day. So the environmental impact is quite high of children's clothing on the environment, and we want to be a sustainable brand. We are actually a plastic free, carbon neutral brand. So Barkha and I used to talk about it often and say, how does one tackle that? And Sayojha, we decided to do some innovation in baby clothing, where we make something called baby grows. So where instead of a child growing out of their garments in 3 months or 2.5 to 3 months, they can wear it for up to 5.5 months. So the garments are a little bit adjustable in their length. The mothers can, there are maybe buttons or various ways where we can make the garment last longer. The quality of a garment is very good. They do not run color, bleed color, lose shape, uh, even after many, 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 many washes. So the garment is actually good for a child to wear even after 5, 6 months. That was one of the things that we were very, very conscious about at that time, that um, though from a business point of view, people would have said, like how fast fashion is, make garments that people need to buy again and again and again quicker. We decided to not go the fast fashion way. We decided to do a little bit of R&D and D and make garments which would last longer, give more value for their money to the parents, have a lesser impact on the environment. And that's the ethos of Greendigo. So people see a lot of value in our clothes. So they don't maybe have to buy clothes every 2.5 months, but whenever the child runs out of, or has grown out of clothes, they do come back to us.
Super. And you see this behavior, is it your clients are retaining with you and repeat purchases are happening?
We have actually an extraordinarily high repeat
Mhm.
percentage of our
Wonderful.
customers. Yeah.
Super. That's something most of the brands also struggle with, to build this repeat business from customers, right? And your idea is built, the essence is built into it already.
Correct.
If we trust you, then we have, I mean, parents have no reasons to go anywhere else, right? Super. So can you tell us a little bit about who your current audience, target audience are? So you said you are doing for kids, which means you'll be targeting the parents, I believe. How is your social media or acquisition channeled to, and what are the current audiences that you are going after?
So we are primarily catering to the young millennial moms. Um,
Mhm.
they are obviously, digital natives. So we do meet them on the social media and digital platforms more often than not. Um, we cater to kids under 6 years. So
Mhm.
from 0 to 6 years, we are now going to start catering to premature babies also. So in India, there are 3.5 million premature babies born every year, and there is not a single brand that is catering to the needs of a premature baby. And premature babies have a different need. They can't be picked up, they can't be made to sit very often. Sometimes they are in the NICU with all the tubes going in and out. They have to go in for regular scans. And so we are trying to make clothing which is appropriate for them. Also, they are tinier than the newborn babies, much, much tinier. So, yeah, coming back to who our customer is, it is the young mother, and like I said, a digital native, and yeah, under 6 years of age of kids.
Super. So when you say digital, you mean ads, or you also mean the organic channels that you are trying to
Yeah,
set?
so we are only, we only have a digital presence right now, whether it comes to our distribution or advertising. We are primarily an e-commerce brand as of today.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, just about the ads and the social media, these are the two channels that you are going after today, right?
Yes, yes.
Super. So
And we are present on a lot of marketplaces, which is a
mhm,
good
okay,
discovery channel for moms. They find
okay.
us there.
Super.
while they're browsing on some of the baby, marketplaces, baby wear marketplaces.
Okay, super. So, what has the results been? What, like, I ran a fashion rental startup about a couple of years back, and we used to do a
Amazing.
lot
Yeah.
of ads as well, right? And it's a very difficult game to play. How has your experience been? How
So
have you
yes,
been able
it is
to?
a very, very difficult game to play. You have to be at it all the time. Also, the digital world is changing so fast that before you get a hang of something, some algorithm would have changed, or something goes wrong. And yes, it keeps you on your toes all the time. But I guess that's how it is. All
Super. Yeah.
all
So,
the brands are currently dealing with that.
absolutely, yeah. So I'm on a lot of these founders groups, WhatsApp groups, etc., and people are always talking about, hey, all of a sudden I'm spending more on Facebook. I don't know
Yes.
what happened, and all of these things keep happening all the time,
Yeah.
right?
That's
Uh,
a constant given.
yeah. So, Meghna, what? How many experiments do you run on ads? Generally, at one point in time, how many ad groups might you be experimenting with?
So, I would say countless at times,
Hmm.
because our digital team is constantly at it.
Hmm.
Sometimes I wonder if they work 24/7, because if I'm in a meeting and I come out, or if I go to sleep, which they don't, and I wake up, I find a lot of changes every time. So it'll be very difficult to tell you how many ad groups are we running at this point in time, because it's such a dynamic world, Sayojya, that honestly, I may not even have a track of it anymore.
Sure. uh, understand where you're coming from. When we used to start run ads, it used to be like now and then we will start running few ads here and there,
Yeah.
and we lose track of it. But sure.
And all
So
I
moving.
see coming and going are these emails asking for various sets of creatives,
Uh-huh.
by our digital marketing team. And that's a constant. And it makes me wonder how much creatives are they consuming. But
Of
yes,
course.
it does. Yeah. So, yeah, they're
Super.
at it.
It's wonderful. Super. So, what are some of the challenges or bottlenecks that you have been facing or have faced growing the company, and how did you go about solving them?
So apart from the one that we just spoke about, which is that digital marketing is like a black hole where information goes in but doesn't come out. Um, the biggest challenge that we have faced as a business till now is finding suppliers and setting up a supply chain, which was not just greenwashing. People who were like-minded, people who were willing to support a startup, people who had the same ethics and values that we have. That was, I would say, the biggest challenge. We did not want to do. We wanted basically to do small batch manufacturing. Uh, we are totally against wastage, and setting up that supply chain was a very, very, very big task.
Mm-hmm.
That I
Super.
would single-handedly was our biggest challenge in setting up
Uh-huh. Where
supply.
have you set up the manufacturing unit now?
So now, luckily, by the grace of God or time, or just sheer hard work, I don't know, we have a very strong supply chain, which is so now we are working with many units across India. So it's not concentrated at a place.
Super. Wonderful. Uh, right. So, well, coming back to the question that we discussed earlier, right, about repeat purchases, which you said is working very well for you. What are some of the things that you did towards driving repeat purchases? How do you target this as a metric and work on it?
Okay. So, what we decided when we started the brand during one of our initial conversations is that we'll follow the mom, a new mom, wherever she goes. So, we'll try touching base with her, wherever her point of interest lies. So, before a baby is born, if it is a prenatal class or a yoga class that she wants to go to, we'll try reaching her there. once obviously serving ads and meeting her digitally is there, we try reaching out to her through blogs, through a lot of content that we put out apart from the usual social media content. So our aim is to follow her journey and meet her at various points during that journey.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
rather than just focusing at a point where she may be,
Mhm.
we would, we are trying to, I don't say that we've succeeded, but yes, we are trying to reach out to a new mom at multiple points of connect.
Super. So these are your new users that you are acquiring, right? You are doing offline partnerships with, say, prenatal classes, yoga classes, and stuff like that. So after a customer, after she becomes a customer, after she purchases the first time, uh, how do you bring her back again? Or with very less efforts from your end, this automatically happens. So how does that journey look like for you?
So when we were younger, as in an organization or as a startup, when we were younger, Barkha and I actually used to talk to almost every customer who made a purchase. We wanted to hear, I mean, it wasn't just a courtesy call. We would have a conversation. We wanted to hear what she was uh, looking for, where she was in life, what were her pain points, how could we solve them. And those customers turned out to be very, very, I would say, loyal spokespeople for our brand.
Mhm.
And though now the customer base is growing and it may not be possible for us to talk to every customer, Barkha and I still pick up the phone and talk to most of them. And we have a customer service person who speaks with a lot of customers. Our design team is constantly in touch with customers, seeking feedback and suggestion.
Mhm.
We actually incorporate suggestions from moms. We go back to them with a prototype. We want them to test it before we roll it out in the market. So we have a very, very close connect with our customers. We are not just a D2C brand that's that sells and forgets. um, I think that has really helped us retain customers, and that has helped the conversation going.
Mhm.
So even when the child grows out and the mom is not really buying something from us for that child, she's still in conversation with us. She's still buying gifts for other kids for from us. So that engagement is very high. I think that really holds us in very good stead. A lot
Mhm.
of businesses forget that. So we all say customer is king. I think a lot of businesses forget to communicate with the king.
Absolutely. Yep.
So I think that is one piece which we have got right and will continue doing this, for foreseeable future.
Wonderful. Super. Looks like you can build a very strong community of young mothers.
We
You
hope.
might already have one. Right. Super. Um, cool. So, what are most of the D2C or e-commerce founders that we talk to uh, struggle with conversions, right? People visiting, coming to our website, but people not buying. That's a very long journey from them visiting us to buying from us, right? What does this journey look for your users? And how do you engage with them during this part of the funnel?
So we obviously do the usual retargeting ads and things.
Mhm.
The journey is very long. I will make no bones about it. There are times where we see a user come to our website 20, 25, 30 times before they actually make a purchase.
Mhm.
At that time, retargeting helps. I think a lot of other things help. So once they, where they discover you also matters, right? So if they discover us through, let's say, a blog that mentions us, we see that the conversion is quicker than just them seeing the ad.
Mhm.
If they come through a reference, the conversion is the quickest, right?
Super.
Yeah. So we really, so like we all know, the digital world is very, it's a necessary evil. digital ad serving ads. It's necessary, however difficult it may be, however difficult it may be to understand. It's still a necessary evil. But we are really genuinely trying to reach customers through other sources as well. Like I said, like other points of interest to the mom. And once we do reach them at in the real world, I think the conversion when they see our ads, or when they're served our ads, or how many times they come on our website, it's much quick, much quicker.
Super. So retargeting definitely something that helps us get more attention. In addition, are you also sending regular emails or push notifications and WhatsApp, etc., to these users? So if you are, what kind of campaigns? Maybe if you can shed light on some of the campaigns that you might run to drive some of the key metrics.
So we have constantly endeavored to serve content which is not just pushing the product down their throat. We are trying to engage at a more meaningful level with the new moms, with existing customers as well as potential customers. So when we make focus groups and we test out our products or show our products and designs to mothers, they are not all necessarily our customers,
Mm-hmm.
right? But they do want to try the product once they hear what the brand is all about, what are we trying to do, how are our products not just paying lip service to the environment but are certified. So I think the idea is to not communicate. Everybody communicates, Sahyujyah, with customers. It is the content that you put out there. I think we all bombard customers with our ads. Everybody does it. Every brand does it. Uh, what you serve in those ads is what matters.
Absolutely. So there's this book called Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk. So it essentially, the fundamentals of it is jab, jab, jab is give, give, give before asking.
Yeah.
So what can you give to your audience? How can we make it valuable? Think about that and keep doing that and ask few of those times is the
Yes.
fundamental philosophy behind that.
Yeah. So what you say is right. A sale or a conversion is not the only thing we get from mothers. A lot of times it's very, very valuable feedback. Some of that feedback has made us what we are today.
Absolutely.
So, it is just not a conversion that you're after. You're actually after a meaningful engagement with a person who has this new little person in their lives. And that mom is the only person who understands the need of that baby.
Very true. Very true.
So, yeah, it's not just the conversion we are after. We really want to engage with mothers.
Super wonderful. Even in our startup, when we were building Liberant, so in the initial days we were very small team, so we used to talk with all of our customers, and we used to be very upfront about our faults and mistakes that happened as well, which earned us a lot of friends also.
Yes.
So at different points in time, some of our customers have offered to help with social media for us. Some of them have come for photo shoots for us because we weren't able to afford models at some point in time. They have also helped us, helped a lot. Like, they have fought with people who were giving negative comments on Facebook for us, which is I mean, after all of these things, these are the memories that I carry, that I feel really happy about. So it makes sense, communicating with customers and conversing, building relationships with them. And that will come far. We don't know what that can do to us, right?
Yes.
So
And we've all earned friends in the process.
Yeah, wonderful, super. Meghna, if you can also maybe talk a little bit about the key things that you are driving at. If there are few things that you are prioritizing for your startup. What are those few things?
Okay, so one thing we really want to do, which we've not been able to do during the lockdown, is become an omni-channel brand. We are a D2C brand right now, but we really want to be an omni-channel brand because we want to reach out to a larger audience. Uh, the kind of product that we are selling, I think it's very important for a mother to be able to touch and feel it before she really makes a purchase. So we are looking, at a different or a larger distribution system. We do want to keep our cost of acquisition of customer under control, if that is possible. We are already we already have a very high repeat customers. We want to maintain that. Uh, we are still trying to drive a program with customers where we can get them to be our advocates. We've not yet cracked it, but that is on the top of our to do for this year. Uh,
Super.
yeah. So so yeah, the usual answers are there that I I measure my cost of conversion. I do that, but what we are really trying to do is get our customers to be our advocates.
Absolutely, yeah. So the new, I think, trend word that people are talking about is also community-led commerce, right?
Yes.
So, and I think that has existed
Yes,
far
it
for
has.
longer. Maybe we are just giving names to it, but and that's a great place for you, particularly because here there is a lot of conversations that can happen. This is a passionate bunch of people, most passionate bunch of
Most
people
passion.
that can live on earth are these mothers, new
Yes.
mothers only. So it'll be a very brilliant community for you to build as well.
Yes.
Maybe that can solve your word of mouth
Yeah.
problem also, right? Super. So one question, when you were talking about how you have understood that users have to come, let's say 30 times before they purchase, or if they are coming from a specific source, if they are from word of mouth, they are purchasing faster, right? How did you come about understanding these things about your users? Do you have some sort of framework that you can tell our audience about, on how to go about understanding users on our website or app?
So the only tool that we have is communication, and I'll be very honest about it. Uh, so Google and all, they offer a lot of tools, but the only real tool that we have to understand what our customers' behavior has been is to talk to the customer. Whether they get converted or whether we find them in our abandoned cart, or whatever the case may be, the thing that cracked it for us was to pick up the call and ask that you've been on our website 5 times in the last 7 days. You've not made a purchase. We would love to hear your opinion. So you are obviously engaged if you're coming again and again. So what is it that is not sticking with you that you're making the purchase? And we used to think that people will bang the phone down at us, right? But when Barkha and I were calling them and genuinely having a conversation, there were innumerable moms, okay, who were willing to talk to us. Some of them said, I'm making my baby sleep, or I'm just feeding my baby. Can I call you back on this number? And they did call back.
Mhm,
And we'll be eternally grateful to those people, because that is where we started understanding what goes on in the mind of our consumer.
mhm,
If they come to our, we got simple things like, I want to buy 7 onesies. This is in my initial days, and I want them for like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and repeat whatever. But I see only 5, so I'm looking for a set of 7. You know,
right.
one could make note of the. It gave us an insight into how the mother buys. So when I was, when I was younger and my child was smaller, I had the same mindset. I am not saying I forgot about it, but when I heard a mom talk about it, I said, I did the same thing. I'd never go and pick up one piece of clothing for my child. I'd buy it in bulk,
Right.
right? And those are the things which we eventually have started incorporating. But uh, like I said, the only real tool available to us, especially the new startups, is communicating.
Absolutely.
Nothing else works.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so you used to pick up the call, pick up phones and talk with
We still
customers,
do.
which you are doing today as well, right? In like, how do you see this scaling? How do you see setting this up as you scale, as users grow more in number? How do you plan to keep in touch with them?
So Barkha and I have decided that come what may, we'll take out a certain number of, not hours, but yeah, some time during our schedule to
Hmm.
speak with people.
Hmm.
And it is a must do. It is something we don't shy away from. We get good feedback. We may hear things which we find disheartening, especially initially when we used to hear that you don't have enough variety on your website. And we used to say, oh, we are a startup, we can't build that kind of a variety overnight. But we used to do that, we still do that. We have a team who does that, and believe it or not, our designers do it too. So there are, so that's like a culture that flows in our team. Communicating with the customer is essential.
True.
It is, yeah. I mean, I can't emphasize it enough, and you'll say I'm
Absolutely.
repeating it again and again, but
With you completely, 100%.
yeah, but
We are
that
trying to
way,
actually create a course uh, called communication led growth,
yeah,
because communication is the most important, I mean, to life as well, uh, and to everything in life, including business, of course, right?
yeah.
So how else do you retain people in your life without communicating, right?
Without
uh,
communicating. And whenever we found ourselves stuck with a problem, or wondering how to expand a line, the answers have always come from our customers. You talk to 10 of them, ask them the same question, and you realize that they all have similar needs. Mothers are very, very particular about safety, comfort of the child, and then convenience to themselves. So clothes which are difficult to maintain, are not machine washable, are difficult to take on and off, moms don't like them, right? So all our clothes are machine washable. They are the easiest things to maintain. They don't bleed color, and they're very, very comfortable. They are soft to touch. We have openings, like we have two-sided zippers, which make diaper changes really easy. You don't have to undress the baby at night to change the diaper, right? You can just change the diaper without waking the baby up. Those other things have come from mothers.
Super. Wonderful. I think the last question that I have for you is, since we are connecting on Women's Day with a female founder, what is your take on female entrepreneurship? And what is your take on Women's Day as well?
Okay, so I am genuinely one of those days with, those people who say that every day should be celebrated as Women's Day. I celebrate every day of my life, on my own.
Absolutely.
Yeah. As far as entrepreneurship goes, I would say it is essential for women to start giving it a shot. Women are better multitaskers. I think they are more balanced at risk taking. They have an eye for detail. They are sometimes better at communication. Um,
We can say
all
most
the
times
time.
better also, I think.
And those are the things key to an entrepreneur, you know.
Absolutely.
Uh, if you can't multitask, if you don't have an eye for detail, if you can't communicate, how are you an entrepreneur?
Right.
How will you survive? So, I think women are naturally endowed with some of these things,
Mhm.
these qualities, and they should make the most out of it and get into the world of entrepreneurship. Because Barkha and I have worked in the corporate world for the longest time,
Yeah.
right? And we realize how much more we utilize our skills now.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well put, Meghna. That's totally true. There's a clear difference between when you are starting up, and when you are working in a company, the amount of things that you can learn, that we can also we would surprise ourselves
Yes.
doing new things,
Yeah.
which is a wonderful journey. Super. Uh, just wanted to tell a little bit about Netcore, because a lot of the things that we spoke about also connected to it. Right. So Netcore offers products that essentially tackle this problem of communication, where when we started off as well at a small scale, we were able to talk with all of our customers. At some point in time, what we used to do, we had different segments that we were going after. So we were going after, let's say, maternity photo shoot, pre-wedding photo shoots, much smaller segments like this.
Right.
So we used to have email lists of different segments and upload it one by one on MailChimp, and then send mails so that it's personalized, it is contextual, etc. What Netcore Netcore's tools does is, one, it allows you to segment your users based on, let's say, they like they are purchasing for a female or a male, for example, or what age group is their kid in, etc., or even location, or whatever attributes and events. You can segment users and send communications to them through any channel. It could be also feedbacks, like you suggested, right? When you ask your customers questions, you ask customers where you are stuck, and they can help you out, which is very true. And to continue doing this at scale as well, you have tools necessary to ask different questions to different user segments. And then, of course, you need to have the desire to use those feedback and actually implement it,
Yes.
and go back to the user and say, hey, we did what you told us, what you
And
asked
they're
us.
so happy when you tell them.
Yes, absolutely right.
Yeah.
So that's how we win loyal customers for life. We go back to them, we show them that we actually took their feedback, right? Netcore's tools allows you to do all of these automations and personalizations of communications through different channels. And also, even your website, for example, if, let's say, there is a mother coming on your website for second time, the website can look different for her, where you show different products based on what she saw the last time,
Yeah.
right? Based on or maybe also the whole homepage can change depending on where the user is coming from. You said based on different sources customers are coming from, they might behave differently. So let's say they come from a Facebook ad, they come from a direct referral, the website is different, offer is different, right? So these are few things that we can experiment with your audience better, and as you scale, automate it a little bit as well, right? So I just wanted to uh, uh, know talk about how Netcore can also help you and similar startups in improving these conversions and retention metrics as well.
So I'll be in touch with you after this call.
Super. I made it into a sales pitch, which was not intended. Uh,
No, but this is extremely useful. It's very,
super.
very useful.
Thank you. We will stay in touch, Meghna. Maybe we can
Absolutely,
do more
absolutely. It was
interviews. We can talk.
lovely, lovely talking to you.
Lovely talking to you too. Thanks a lot for taking time out, Meghna.
Thank you so much.
Super. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.